So last time we talked about this subject, I mainly focused on special events and pay-per-views. This time I want to talk about WCW's Big Three: Nitro, Thunder, and Saturday Night. Before WCW Nitro hit the airwaves in 1995, there was WCW Saturday Night. In 1992, the show debuted to showcase WCW's talent and build up rivalries for upcoming pay-per-view events. The show's original theme featured a neon city-style theme, which was quite typical for the late 80s and early 90s. 2 years later, in 1994, the show received a makeover, going with a futuristic look. The stage featured a giant wall with two doors that would open up to let the wrestler and a giant cloud of smoke enter into the arena. The show was mostly taped, but there were a few live episodes that were shot outdoors. By 1998, Saturday Night had become WCW's third-tier show behind the Monday Night Monster that was Nitro and the newest addition to the WCW lineup, Thunder. The show became a jobber's dreamland, with the company showcasing talent straight out of the WCW power plant or the occasional mid-Carter squash. After WCW received its new logo and makeover, Saturday Night featured a new look as well. But by this time, the show wasn't doing so well, and by the year 2000, it was turned into a weekly recap show. In 1995, WCW Nitro made its debut with a bang at the Mall of America. But the very next episode featured a glimpse at what Nitro would look like for the next 4 years. Featuring an elevated stage with an industrial look, including steel framing and giant WCW lettering finished in diamond plate. Whereas the WWF had used ringside announce tables for many years, WCW decided to feature an announcer's stage located to the side of the main stage. Another thing to note is the large amount of lights used on Nitro. There were lights everywhere. Something that's always stuck out in my head is the fact that there were WCW logos everywhere as well. They really didn't want you to forget what show you were watching. There was even an episode where the NWO tore up the whole stage and replaced everything that was WCW with NWO. Eventually, they added a screen to the stage that was always offset to one side or another, which at one point was named Nitrovision. In 1999, WCW ran an advertisement that gave us all a sneak peek at a new logo, with the date and time of April 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern, which was the time slot for Nitro. That very night would mark an all-new look for WCW Nitro, complete with a new show intro, new logo, new stage design. Everything had changed. Even the announcer tables had moved ringside. The stage itself was now just a giant version of the new WCW logo in front of a black curtain. The funniest thing about this new set design has to do with the ramp. The bottom of the C in the logo extended down onto the ramp, and due to it being just a decal, it was quite slippery, leading to many wrestlers slipping and falling during their entrance. Eventually, you would notice wrestlers purposely avoiding the decal and walking around it until eventually it was removed altogether. This stage only ran until 2000, when it was replaced by what I like to call the Mini Raw is War stage, because to me that's exactly what it looked like. This stage was almost identical to the one used at certain pay-per-views in 1999, like Sold Out and Mayhem. Even though the main color for Nitro had always been red and remained red, they added a blue ring mat, which looked a little out of place. This wasn't a bad-looking stage, but it was a little simple compared to the two that came before it. After yet another reboot, Nitro would receive its last facelift. This stage was used universally for all of WCW's shows in its last year of existence. The Nitro Vision came all the way down to the stage, with the wrestler walking out from behind it to get to the ring. At this time, cost-cutting measures led to Thunder being taped right before episodes of Nitro, leading to episodes of Nitro featuring blue ropes instead of red. In January of 1998, WCW's third weekly show debuted, WCW Thunder. Initially, the show featured a stage with a giant rock wall and a door that would open up during a wrestler's entrance. This set didn't last long at all, and while the logo for Thunder remained the same, by the end of the year the stage was completely changed. This stage had a gloomy, darker look to it, whereas Nitro was brightly lit and energetic. Thunder was lit with dim blue lights and featured lightning effects in the form of flashing overhead lights. During matches, the arena would be lit up bright enough to see the action, but interviews were often left very dark. The thing that made Thunder really unique at the time was not only that the set was offset to the side, but it was also cocked at an angle with the ramp being diagonally facing the ring. In 1999, when Nitro received its makeover, Thunder was left untouched, other than the addition of the new logo. This wouldn't last forever though, as eventually WCW designed a universal set that all weekly shows and pay-per-views would use. These stages and set designs represent the highs and lows of WCW, and they bring back a lot of memories for die-hard wrestling fans. Before we go, let's take a look at some other WCW stages from throughout the years.